The main mission was to find out what happened to the ant people, and I guess you succeeded in that mission. You found out that they've simply moved to a higher realm or another realm. Like you said that they appeared through the cave walls, so it sounds like they are in another vibrational realm where they can just shift in and out of our reality when they want to.
Yeah, I agree. It looked like shadowy figures instead. But when you approach and you go through the door and you go through the square vibrational part, you can physically see them.
Mm-hmm.
But the place is like maybe holy, I guess. It's beautiful. It's bright. The colors are brighter. You feel happy. You feel good. You feel awesome. And beautiful place. Feel peace.
You're listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Salla, your source for the uncensored truth regarding the human, extraterrestrial, global, and political agenda. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And now, here's Dr. Michael Salla.
I am with JP once again. For those that are new, JP is an acronym, a pseudonym we use for someone who is currently serving in the US Army. And we use that acronym just to keep his identity a secret. And he has been telling us about missions that he's been conducting, and he has been given permission to talk about these missions, to disclose these missions. So in a sense, he's not really a whistleblower. I guess this is like unofficial sanctioned disclosure. That's how I can put it. So welcome, JP, to Exopolitics Today.
How you doing, Doc? I'm happy to be here again to bring this information for you, Doc. I know there's a lot of people interested in these type of missions and what's happening behind the scenes. And a lot of people are really happy that this information is coming out in a way that they can understand.
Well, wonderful. I know you have a lot of fans out there. A lot of people are looking forward to your updates. So I'm glad we can do another one for them. So, yeah, what happened on your last mission? I think you told me yesterday that you've just been on a mission. So when was the mission? And you want to tell us what happened?
It happened actually yesterday, all day yesterday. And then we got back like at 8 o'clock p.m. We left early in the morning and we came back at 8. It was an awesome type of mission. We all got a text message in the morning to meet in this particular location in Florida. And we went to that particular location in Florida. We met with somebody that was in charge with the mapping. So we were with him. And there was another guy with us as well, but he had a mask on, really good built. You know, we're all in good shape, you know. We have to be in good shape in order to do certain types of missions. So it was a total of 4 people, 4 guys. And we had a 5th person. She was a girl. It was a female. She was with us. She spoke a couple different languages. So she was in linguistic. Her name is Sue. So she was with us. And we were going to this type of location, right? So we went to this location. It was a total of 4 guys and a female. We were going into the woods. So we were following this path. We're heading north from our location. So heading towards like Alabama, towards that area. And it splits up to like Georgia. So around that area to there, we drove over there. We all were in the type of 4Runner Toyota type of vehicle. And we got to this location. But we met up in a place before. And then we got into this vehicle. We started heading to that area. And it ended up being the same area where we went, where I saw the bush. And I said, oh man, I remember this bush. So the guy with the map it was a different dude. It wasn't the same guy that came with us last time. He had a flute with him made of a wooden flute, and he played it like a high-pitched sound. And the hatch shook the floor where we're at. We all shook, and it opened, like, shh, and it opened up. And I'm saying to myself, all right, this is the same location. This is the same spot. Okay, so let's go in. Total of 5 of us. We're going down the stairs, and this time we had more lighting with us, and on the walls we could see writings that we didn't see last time. So we're like, wow, look at this. We were heading halfway down, and then we heard the hatch come down again, and the pressurized thing came up to our ears, and we started heading down.
So Jake, for people who maybe haven't heard this earlier story, I think a year ago you described going to that location, and I think you were taken there by helicopter, as I recall, and you were dropped off, and someone opened that big circular or that big entranceway, and that's when you went in and you went to the underground ant kingdom where the king was.
Yeah.
Okay, so people who have kept up with your updates, they know, where you are at, that this is the same location where a year or so ago you went down and saw the ant king.
So, yeah, we started going down this location, and it's like a couple stairs down, 10 minutes, straight out again. Down, it's the same way that we went to. And we ended up to this open cavern place that I saw it familiar. And I saw 2 humans standing guard this time. I didn't see the ant people. And I was like, okay, they were wearing the same robe that the ant people wear. So they nod their head, and we nod. The girl, she went straight to them and spoke like a particular language that sounded like a Greek and Arabic mixture. And they spoke back with her, and they just opened the door. So this female, she was wearing a mask, but you could tell a difference from female and male. So I knew she was a female, but her eyes was Oriental. So she was, I think, Asian. Cool girl. She's about like 5'8", and she was with us. She's a linguistic, and she was with us. So she talks to these 2 guards, and they open the gate. It's like a wall that opens up in, and then it goes to the side, and it shakes everything. I think it's a type of technology or hydraulics. I did see the bottom part of the door. It had like big, huge marble round balls. That's what it looked like. Or it was a metallic type of balls that these doors, when they slide, they roll over these certain tracks that have like these big marble balls that the door slides easily. But I don't know what pulls it in the other side. But it does it like automatic. So that was quite interesting to see the construction of that door moving. I got an idea how they move, because I looked down and I saw these huge marble balls, and the big ass door, I think, weighed like a couple 1,000 pounds of granite or rock, and it was just rolling on top of that. And I guess leaning on a certain marble, metallic looking marble, it can twist easily by using the weight. So it went in, and then it went to the side easily. You could just move it with one hand. It's awesome construction. So we entered, and it looked quite different. We saw, again, a lot of dogs, a lot of cats, a lot of domesticated type of hogs. And we saw humans, but I did not see the ant people. So I asked one of the guys, I said, hey, what happened to the ant people? She's like, I don't know. So I ran up to the girl. I said, hey, people that used to live here, do you know where they went? And she's like, yeah, but that's what we're trying to find out. One of the reasons we're here is because we got a message saying that the ant people left. I'm saying, like, well, where did they leave? So we need to figure this out. So we started walking in, and all I could see was humans. I did not see the ant people. So that kind of worried me that I didn't see, our friends. So in the distance, we kept walking, and all we saw was human dressed in robes, similar to how the ant people were dressed. And I told this, hey, we were here a year ago, and I was speaking to her like in a low voice. I was like, hey, we were here a year ago, and there was other beings here. They call themselves the ant people. Are they here? Are they not? What's going on? Like, what's the situation here? And there was a king that was here. And then she looked at me, and she looked at me kind of weird. She's like, a king? I'm like, yeah, there was a king here. So she's like, wait. She's like, this place hasn't been open for like 100 years. Nobody have been here. I told the girl, I said, what are you talking about? I was here last year, and I remember what I saw. I know what I saw. She's like, no, none of this never been open to the public. How do you know this? I said, I've been telling you since up there, everything, how it opens, how we go down the stairs, how there's going to be 2 guards there. And she looked at me like super weird. And the 2 guys behind me, they were like puzzled. And I noticed that none of the same guys that were there in the first mission was with me. They were all different people, different map guy. We had 3 other guys, and then we had the female. So I was thinking to myself, like, what's going on here? So I just started meditating. And when I started meditating, I started seeing in the distance like shadowy figures. And the girl looks like this, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm meditating. She's like, how can you meditate when you walk? I was like, I just think about white light, and I close my eyes, and I think about happy things that has happened in my life. And then she looks at the distance, and we start seeing these figures coming out from the caves. And I started seeing the ant people dressed in robes. They started coming out. And I started seeing a lot of them. And then all the humans that were there, they were kind of surprised. Like they'd never seen the ant people. And I'm like, this is weird. They used to live together. Now they're showing up again because we're here. What's going on? I'm not sure what's going on. So one of the ant people approached us and was face to face with her, and she tried to communicate with them, but she couldn't communicate. And she looked at me. She's like, can you communicate with him? I'm like, yeah, I can probably communicate with him. So I stood in front of him, and I looked straight at his eyes, and he looked straight in my eyes, and I could hear a voice saying, we went farther in. And I asked them, I spoke, and I said, what do you mean you went farther in? And they repeat the same thing. They said, we went farther into the earth. And I said, is there a reason why you went farther into the earth? And he said, we can't disclose that information. So we left this part for the humans, and we went just farther in. I said, can you take me to the king? And he's like, the king is no longer with us. So I asked him with a little bit of, I started tearing up because I knew the king was old, but I never knew that he would probably pass in our lifetime. So I asked him again, I said, is the king alive? He said, yes, the king is alive, but he's no longer with us. So I guess their belief is when somebody dies or when something dies, they're still in the realm of the living and they're still helping the living. So I asked him, how do you know he's still with us? And he said, we still feel him. He did this gesture. We still feel him. And I'm like, okay, we still feel him. Okay. So I started thinking about it, about what was happening, about her telling me that this hasn't been open for 100 years, but I don't think they knew about the last mission because it was a type of classified mission. So people that they use different people for different missions. And I knew I went down there and I knew what I saw. So I said, I need to know the location where the king is. So he went like this, and I went with him. I said, can they go with us? He's like, no, just you. So the other guys, they stayed behind, and I went with the ant guy, the ant being. I went with him, and I was right behind him, and I was just studying the way he was walking. So the way they walk is like a limp, like a slight limp in each leg. So they walk like they're dancing. So I kept following him, and I was smelling like a honey. And then he was carrying a belt with pouches, and he had 2 pouches with him. And I saw these pouches, and I'm like, wow, what are these pouches? So I started talking to him. I said, hey, what are these 2 pouches that you have here? He's like, oh yeah, this is the grain. So he picked it up and he showed me. This grain is what you guys call chia. I'm like, wow, awesome. And then what is in that pouch?
Just repeat that. What you guys call what? Beer?
Chia.
Oh, chia.
Chia seed.
Oh, like chia seed. Okay, so it's a drink.
I did a video in my channel of a longevity drink.
Okay, so this is the same drink you talked about in your video about the longevity drink.
So I really wanted to take that video out before the interview. Just when this interview goes out, they can go straight to the channel and see how the drink is made. But there's another type of liquid here, drink, that they showed me that I did not show in my channel, that is going to be exclusively here in this interview, that people are going to learn this other drink that they showed me. So I kind of knew of the drink, what they were sharing with me, but it's interesting how they did it. So he showed me the other pouch, but the other pouch was like squishy, and I was like, what is that? He says, this is pomegranate juice. But they called it another name, Paragones. They called it Paragones. Paragones. Their language is similar like to Greek and Arabic, but I kind of understood what he was trying to say telepathically. So when he said Paragones, I kind of knew it was pomegranate. So a similar word, and he made me pour my hand out, and he poured a little bit in my hand, and I drank it, and it was pomegranate juice, pure pomegranate juice. So they showed me that they had these clay looking jars, and they pour pomegranate, and they put chia seeds in these jars, right, that they have in the cool location, and they wait 24 hours before drinking these pomegranate juice. And sometimes they ferment, and they turn into like a wine kombucha style drink. So it's really good for you. And he was telling me that it's good for longevity. So I did a video about that, of how to do that type of drink. So I kept following him, and I kept asking questions about the culture, about type of medicine that they drink. And I asked him his age. He said he was 86 Earth years. They say Earth years after, because they can age different depending on what planet they're in. And I did not know that. He said human beings can do the same thing. We can age different depending on what planet or what moon we're on. So the aging process that we have on Earth is exclusively for Earth. So when you go to like Mars or you go to other planets, you age differently. If you're in space, you age differently. Your life could be longer, or your life can be shorter, depending about the gravity, depending on what you eat in those planets, depending of the oxygen level, depending about the microbial life forms that live in different planets also. have different types of microbials that live there as well, that also lives on different extraterrestrials. So we have to also, this is like a protocol when you meet other ETs, or if you go to a different timeline or a different time, of how to cleanse yourself before going to these different places. So that's awesome. I'll probably do a video of that next time and explaining how the microbial life forms can affect ET contacts and teleportation and a lot of things that goes into it. So a lot of people don't take that into consideration, that we do carry life forms in our body and on our body, and that these life forms also travel with us when we do teleportation or we travel to other planets and other places. So whatever we eat can affect these life forms that help us, these microbials that can help us live longer or live shorter, depending how you treat them.
Now, you said that the ant person that's guiding you had two pouches, one with chia seeds and one with pomegranate juice. So they would just mix them and let them sit for 24 hours.
Mix them in 24 hours, but some of them, they just eat it. They eat a chia seed as it is, and they eat it and they drink it. They drink it with pomegranate, and what happens is that when it hits their belly, it grows, right, with the acid of the stomach, and combining with the pomegranate, it grows, and they don't eat as much as they supposed to. So it helps them with fasting. So they don't get as hungry when they eat these chia seeds with pomegranate mixed in their belly. When they eat it dry, now when you drink it and you make it after 24 hours, it helps you. It helps you prolong your life. So something about fasting and eating pomegranate and chia seeds, dry chia seeds, and then a drink of pomegranate can make you fast longer than other. And they told me also that they showed this to the Indians back in the days when they showed them about the pouches and all that, and how they can last all day with energy just using this type of method of eating. So it's quite interesting that they were showing me that. So yeah, he showed me the room where they keep the clay and the chia seed and the pomegranate, and how it's aged, and it had writing on it of how old it is. So this particular ant guy, he was like 80, around there, 80 years old, and he was healthy, strong. Their body is more defined than ours.
I don't know if you said the last time you met the ant people, but do you know how long they normally live for?
I know the Ant King, he was a couple hundred years old, maybe like 400 years old, around there. So since the 1700s, he's been alive. So it kind of surprised me when they told me that he has passed, but he's still with us. But I was wondering who took over. So that was my main thing, of who took over, of being king, or who was in charge now. So we started getting to that conversation, and he showed me where the Ant King was laid. It was made of beautiful pearl rocks. They put pearl rocks around. It looked like a grave, but it was a beautiful pearl rocks going around in an oval, and his crown was engraved with the rock. And I'm like, man, how did they do that? How did they engrave the crown into the marble like that? So they have these types of Manson work. How do you say it? Masonry. The type of masonry they work on is interesting. The construction, how they know of the mixture of certain clay, and it's stronger than what we have right now on top of Earth. By the way, they know the knowledge that they have of mixing.
Metallurgy.
Huh?
Metallurgy.
Yeah. They got a lot of knowledge of how to mix things together. and certain types of potion for longevity, for diseases, and all that. So I felt sad when I saw it. It was really pretty sad.
I remember the last time you said you saw, I think, some ships flying, that the ant people had technology, advanced technology, flying technology.
Mhm.
So, I mean, did you see anything like that?
We saw some ships here and there, but they were not flying. I saw an orb that was going left to right, but like I said again, there was a lot of humans. There's a lot of humans when I went there now. I saw one ant person, and he was showing me where the king was laid to rest. And I told him, and I asked him, "Hey, who's in charge now?" He said, "We have another king in charge, but he's not from this realm." I'm like, I looked around and I looked to the grave, and then I saw the hand of the ant guy, and he pointed to a wall. So I looked at the wall, and there was a beautiful artwork of the tree of life. I said, "Are you trying to tell me that the king that is now, it's the king that was sleeping?" And he said, "I can't get into that information. You need to figure it out yourself." So I went to the wall.
But before you go on, JP, when you say the king that was sleeping, you're talking about the giant, the sleeping giant. In the very first time you went into one of the subterranean ant kingdom chambers, that you saw a tree of life, you saw a lot of ant people, and you saw a big stasis chamber or sarcophagus, and a giant, a red-haired giant in it, and you were trying to find out when he would awaken and kind of that information. So right now you're alluding, but the ant person didn't confirm, that whoever's in charge now is that sleeping giant, but who's awake. We don't know that.
So he told me that he's from a different realm, but I kind of knew what he was trying to tell me when he pointed to the tree of life painting that they have on the wall. So I went to the wall and I put my hands on the wall and I felt a vibration. And I asked the ant person, I said, "Hey, what is this vibration?" And he's like, "It's the other side of the realm that we're not supposed to go and disturb." So we felt like a humming vibration coming out from the other side of that wall. I said, "Is there a way that we can get to there?" He's like, "We can't go to there. It's a different realm." And I went back and I got the guys and I got the girl. And the girl brought back like 6 of the humans that were living there. I started asking her to translate. I said, "Hey, ask them if there's a way to get behind this wall." And one of the elders, I think he was like, also, you can see his face, like almost 70 or 80 years old. He came up, he had a long beard, he had sandals. He looked like one of those Romans with robes, and he had a staff with him. And he's like speaking to the girl. He's like, "Yeah, I know a way that we can go. But only one person can go through." And I told her, I said, "I'm not going without you guys. You guys got to be with me." And she's like, "No, you don't understand. You have to have a certain vibration to go into that location. It's holy." He's saying that it's holy. And I explained to her, I said, "Hey, I've been to a location where I saw a sleeping giant, and I saw the 2 guards that were guarding the sleeping giant. I saw the tree of life. I saw that realm already. I know where that place exists. It's real." And she's like, "Hey, if you want to die, you can die, but I'm not going." And the other guys are like, "We're not going either. So if you want to go, you can go by yourself." So I asked the guy to take me to the location where the entrance was. So he takes me to the location where the entrance was, and there was like a type of forest field on a square type of entrance. And you could put your hands in and you could feel the hair of your body going up. And then when you take it out, you don't feel it no more. So you could tell that this entrance was protected. And I was like, okay, so if I go in, what's going to happen? If something happens to me, it is what it is. So I start walking into the square, and the guy looked puzzled. And he started speaking to me a language, and I could understand him. And he told me that it's like nobody ever been this far. I'm like, okay. I kept walking, and my whole body started vibrating, and I could feel I could feel like a happiness going into the middle of my chest, going to my stomach, going to my throat, and then in between my eyes, behind my head, and my two eyes. I can literally feel them vibrating like this, like if my body was dematerializing. I say that?
Dematerializing.
There we go. That's the word. Appreciate it, Doc. I close my eyes. I open my eyes, and I can see vegetation as far as I can see. I saw beautiful vegetation, and I can smell beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Like if it was like a mango mixed with guava type of scent. So beautiful. The place I saw, and everything was bright. Like, man, I hope I wasn't high or nothing like that, but it looked like everything was really, really bright. And I thought about, man, that drink that ant guy gave me, I hope it wasn't laced up or nothing like that, because what I was looking at, the color was so magnificent. Like everything was brighter. And I was like, wow, where am I? And I looked back and it was dark. Like, so wherever I crossed was like not a portal, but it was like a type of door that was different, that dematerializes you and brings you back to another realm or another place. So I looked and I saw ant people. I'm like, okay, this is where they're at. So I didn't know if I was farther in or farther into the location where I was. But I shouted, I said, hey. And they all looked at me like shocked. I didn't see no humans, just ant people. And one came up to me and bowed to me and said, why you're here? And I said, I want to know who's in charge of this location. And they said, he that is not from this realm is in charge. He that has awoken. So somebody that has been woken up is in charge of this realm. And I said, can I see him? And they're like, no, too holy. And they looked away when they said that. And I said, can I see him? No, too holy. And I'm like, can he be a god? Can he be a certain person that's in charge? Or what is he, a spirit? I'm like, okay. Can I go farther? He's like, no. Stay there. Somebody else will come. So he leaves, and somebody else came. And he was dressed in a whole robe, similar to the robe that the king used to wear. He's like, I'm in charge of this location, but not of the realm. So you're the new king. He's like, no. I'm not the king. I am in charge. I said, can you show me around? So they took me to this room, and this room was hollowed out, and it had type of candles lit it up around, and it had like a crystal in the middle of the room. And I look at the crystal, and it was the color of your shirt with white. It was like a pinkish, purplish color type of crystal. And I sat down, and on the tables, I saw a type of drink. I said, what is that? So they said, in order for me to go farther, I need to drink this drink. And I'm like, okay, all right. So I asked them, what is it made of? It's made of ginger, garlic, and honey. And it tastes amazing because it had like a hint of lemon also on it. So ginger, lemon, honey, and garlic. So you take ginger, they mush up the ginger, they mush up the garlic, they grind it up. It has to be fresh. They get the honey and they pour like a type of lemon. It didn't look like lemon, but it looked like a lime that we have. It was a mixture of green and a mixture of yellow. So it was a type of lemon. And they squeeze it in and they pour it around like this. And they make you drink this beautiful drink. And I drank it. And the moment I drank it, my whole sinuses cleared up. I felt the energy that I haven't felt in a long time. And I start coughing. And I asked, hey, why am I coughing? Like, you're coughing phlegm. And it helps you release everything that you have. So I started sweating. I started feeling better. I sat down and I said, I need to go back. I need to go back. I need to go back. So what I felt in me that I needed to go back because I was feeling good, but I don't think I was prepared to see what I was supposed to see, Doc. So when they start taking me to this corridor, it's like a long tube-like tunnel that they built. And I started looking at the walls and all that. I was like, I need to go back. I started pointing back. And they were like, you want to go back? And I'm like, yes, I want to go back. So it's not that I felt peace. It's just I don't think I was ready to see what I was supposed to see, Doc. So it's nothing against them, nothing negative. It's just I needed to go back. I felt that I needed to go back. What I feel, I follow what I feel. So if I feel I wasn't ready to see what they wanted to show me, I was honest with them and I told them I need to go back. So I went back to the room. They made me drink again. And I went back to the same location. I came out from the square and my whole body started vibrating again. And when I came out from the other side of the door where the guys and that one ant person was and the female was, I started throwing up. And I was throwing up like a bluish substance. I don't know what it was. But then the ant guy told me, hey, you're healed. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like, you're healed. So everything was falling kind of into place of what they were trying to do with me, probably to heal me in a certain way, for me to keep on doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I know the ant king told them about me and what to do with me next time I came here to that particular location. So we started heading back, and the elder guy that had the beer with the staff, he said, we want you guys to come back here. And we're going to show you other things that will surprise you guys. And soon, that we're going to share with the surface people. That's what the king said, to share this information with the surface people. But we were like, okay, is it going to be every location of the United States and every location around the world that you guys are going to share this information? He's like, yes, if the king from the other realm blesses us to do so. So I guess the other king from that other realm was developing something that was going to help us in our time, in our realm, to move forward. So it was an amazing experience, Doc. We started heading back. We came out from a different location. We got picked up by a truck. like a GMC truck. We got taken back to our location where the bush was. We got into the Forerunner, and we started heading back to where our cars was. And I came home. Coming back, I got ginger, I got garlic, and if you do this recipe, try to get the honey from your location. The honey that is in your location, not no other location. Don't buy honey from the store. Like, it has to be a natural honey from your location in order for this to work as good. Because that's what the air you're breathing. That's the pollen that is falling. Everything counts together. So you grab ginger, garlic, honey, and lime. And you mix it in together. You put it to a similar jar that I showed everybody how to do the chia and pomegranate juice. And this particular drink is going to help you with colds. It's going to relieve the arthritis pain. It's going to help your brain to think better. It's going to give you energy if you drink this in the morning. And it's going to cleanse your body with any type of phlegm that you have built up.
So this happened yesterday. So this happened March 21st. Today's Friday. So this happened on Thursday. So it's only been one day, but you had that drink and they said that you were healed. So do you feel better? Do you feel that this has helped you, that drink that they made for you?
Yeah, I feel good.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first day trying it, So I do feel good drinking this drink. The liquid substance that comes from the ginger, garlic, and honey and lime.
Now, what do you think the ant person meant when he said that the ant people have gone to another realm, or that they've kind of moved from that location that's been handed over just to the humans now? And they said that they have moved to another realm where this king of the other realm presides.
It's a higher vibration place.
I see.
So it's a higher vibration where they go that I don't think a lot of humans can go yet.
Okay, so we're talking like a 4th density, 5th density vibrational realm that they've gone to, and that this king that's awoken has somehow opened the doorway to that realm for them to go in.
Yes, exactly.
And you haven't got this confirmed, but you suspect that it's the same sleeping king you saw in that sarcophagus a year and a half ago?
Yes, I suspect that was him. That's why I think I wasn't ready to see him. I don't think I was worthy yet to approach him and what to say and how to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't feeling comfortable myself. Maybe for them I was ready, but for me, I just felt I'm not ready.
Okay, so the main mission was to find out what happened to the ant people, and I guess you succeeded in that mission. You found out that they've simply moved to a higher realm or another realm, a density realm, where they simply, like you said, that they kind of like appeared through the cave walls. So it sounds like they are in another vibrational realm where they can just shift in and out of our reality when they want to.
Yeah, I agree. It looked like shadowy figures instead. But when you approach and you go through the door and you go through the square vibrational part, you can physically see them.
Mm-hmm.
But the place is like maybe holy, I guess. It's beautiful. It's bright. The colors are brighter. I don't know if the air is made of marijuana. I don't know what the heck is going on, but I can't do drugs. I can't do none of that. But you feel happy, you feel good, you feel awesome and beautiful place. Feel peace.
So those two drinks that they gave you and explained to you what they were, that sounds like they are part of the process of being able to move from a third density realm to the realm that they're in right now.
What do you mean process? If they're part of the process of moving to that realm?
The drinks that they gave you, like taking those drinks, do they help the person move into that other realm, or their consciousness is more capable of dealing with these higher density realms?
Yes, it helps with the cleansing of the human body. The cleansing, and helps the microbial that lives in your body to have, I guess, the same sensation that you are feeling. Something like that. It's a weird science, but it's interesting if you get into it.
Now, you said that the ant people were going to start showing themselves to people all over the earth. So does that mean that they're going to come out of these higher density realms and just appear on the surface and kind of like interact with people? Because they look different. They don't look like humans. So how would that work?
I think they would find a way to communicate with humans. And also the humans that live there, also, they could be actually even walking among us, coming out and living and walking among us the same way that the Nordics do. I found that quite interesting that these humans, they really look they're humans. They really look human. They're all human. And the ant people, yes, they do look different. But I think, yes, they can show themselves to certain people that are ready for them to be shown. I think they can appear from different places, depending where you're at. The area of if it has like a higher magnetic field, or a place that it's been holy before, maybe they can show up there. They're gonna start showing themselves to certain people, and people are gonna talk about them like they used to talk about them.
Mhm. But of course, it's going to be very selective. It's going to be high vibrational people who can.
I assume it's similar to the Sasquatch being, you know,
Mhm.
similar type of way.
Okay, so it's just like the Sasquatch. You have to be a certain vibration, a certain way of thinking, and like in a place of love and empathy, and they'll reveal themselves. That the ant people will be the same. It's like you got to raise your vibration so that it can match with them, and then they'll reveal themselves.
Agreed.
Okay. And so you said that's going to happen all over the world. So there's no one place you go to. It's just that you got to feel guided. Probably it's going to be more in natural, like in woods, forests.
Yes, that's why I've been putting videos out, encouraging people to go into the forest, go into the woods, and really connect with the wildlife and connect with nature, because that's the only way that you could feel these type of things. Connecting, and then having that extremely big love, and I show a lot of love. I try to show as much love in the channel, saying I love you, and I love everybody that follows me and cares about this information coming out and touching their hearts by sharing information of how to get closer to ETs and how to get closer to them by what you eat. You know, I'm noticing now that I'm getting traction with people, and I'm getting, you know, not threatened. Look, I'm not lying. This is right now. Me talking about this. Hold on. Do you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah.
So right now, a Black Hawk just flew over my head.
Okay. And you're at home, so that's
Yeah.
unusual.
So let me just stop there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, any final words you want to say to our Spanish and Portuguese friends?
I'll first talk in Spanish. Para todos los que están mirando este video, ojalá que entiendan un poquito que esta información que estoy trayendo es porque me dejaron hablar y me dejaron decir esta información. Y te aseguro que voy a dar más información en mi canal de YouTube y canal de Instagram. Y aquí en Exopolitics con Dr. Michael Sala, trayendo la información. So now I'm going to talk in Portuguese. Oi, todos no Brasil, muito obrigado por escutar a informação que estou traindo. Eu sei que eu estou falando em inglês, mas tem pessoas que estão traduzindo as informações que eu estou trazendo, tá? E obrigado por me seguir no meu canal em YouTube e também no meu canal jp.missões e também aqui em Exopolitics com Dr. Michael Sala em YouTube. Muito obrigado. Eu amo muito vocês. Muito obrigado. And yeah, thank you for everybody that's here. I really appreciate you guys. I love you guys. You know, sometimes I mess up of how I say things and how I talk. My grammar is like off the chain sometimes. But I just hope you guys get this information and have an experience when you go into the forest or you go to the woods and you do a meditation. I wish you a beautiful experience, that you guys may have contact in a spectacular way. More people are going to have these experiences. I'm getting a lot of people, Doc, in the social media, a lot of people that I sometimes vet by asking a particular question that I know how it is, and they have been through similar experience of visiting certain locations and having contact with different types of beings and communicating with them. So there's going to be people having these experiences, and they have to be open about it. And if they can text you or send you an email, you know, on your website, because there's going to be a lot of people going through different types of experiences. And I can't wait till you or other people go through these special experiences. I know you probably had experiences here and there, you know, but I think it's going to be more intense with people, the experiences that we're going to go through.
I think you're right. Well, I want to thank you, JP, for again giving people this update. It's always great to hear about these missions, and I know it kind of takes something out of you every time you do this, and there's always risks, so we do appreciate it.
Yeah, I do feel a type of sadness that the Ant King has passed, and it's really sad, but they're in a better location, I tell you that. The Ant people are in a better location, and they're going to be showing themselves soon to people.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, JP.
You have been listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Sala. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Join or start a conversation in the comments. Take the time to explore the vast library of best-selling books, webinars, and podcasts by Dr. Sala. Visit exopoliticstoday.com.